So you'll need your chair or coffee table surface handy, and you can have it kind of just off the edge of your mat. And just take a moment to step onto your mat. And we're actually going to begin down, but before we go down, I'd like to just take a moment to stand. And some days, especially for those of us who are sitting so much at the desk, standing up straight can feel like a back bend, right? So just stand tall. And this is a pose in yoga called mountain pose. So just finding your mountain pose. And beginning our practice now. Take a moment to close your eyes. And you can place one hand at your belly and one hand at your chest. And with your eyes closed, allow the inner and outer corners of your eyes to soften. Feel your feet on the floor, even standing. Even weight from the inner and outer edges of the feet, even weight from the heel to the ball of the foot. And notice the dynamics of your breath and allow there to be expansion both at your abdomen and your rib cage as you breathe in. And then feel your belly fall in towards your spine and your chest soften as you breathe out. Sometimes we can get caught up in the reverse breathing or the paradoxical breathing where our bellies actually pull in as we inhale. Just taking a moment to establish proper breathing dynamics here. And then once you feel pretty established in that expansion with your inhale and contraction with your exhale, relax your arms by your sides. And just take a moment to really arrive and become really still and become really present. Give yourself permission to let go of the events of the day. Let go of any expectations that you have about this practice. Let go of any judgments that you might have about your practice or your body. And in a gesture that connects you to your center, to your midline, just bring your palms together. Lift your breastbone towards your thumbs. Feel your collarbones broaden. Keeping that connection inward, please blink your eyes open. Bring your arms by your sides. And then stepping to the back of your mat. Feet hips distance apart, and always check your foundation. Make sure that neither foot is turned in or out. On your next breath in, stretch your arms out, up and overhead. And then as you exhale, bend your knees and sit back as if you were trying to sit back into a chair that's being pulled out from underneath you. Right, so let your hips hinge back, and then press into your heels, squeeze your bottom, come all the way up to stand, breathing in. Standing tall as you exhale, lower your arms down by your sides. So we're going to repeat that simple movement pattern a couple of times, and what I'd really like for you to feel is that the breath and the body are moving together. Exhale to sit back, hinging back. So the knees are staying pretty much over the ankles. You're really hinging back. That's going to bias the glutes. Press into your heels, squeeze your bottom, come to stand, breathing in. No rush. Use your whole breath out to lower your arms down by your sides, getting the sense of becoming taller. Top of the head reaching up into the space above you. One more cycle just like that. Inhaling. Exhaling, squatting back. Just giving yourself the opportunity to exert some effort, but in this slow, calm way. Exhale, lowering the arms down. So moving on, use your whole breath in to sweep the arms overhead, legs are firm. Exhale, lift your belly, your navel away from your thighs as you squat back, and you'll stay here for a few breaths. Now lift your chest. If you're feeling a lot of tension in your shoulders, take your arms slightly further forward of your ears, slightly wider apart, and then draw the shoulder blades down onto your back. Feel that your inhales and exhales are equal in measure. So Hillary, you could also do these as wall squats with your upper back against a wall. That's really great training for labor. One more breath here. And then exhale your ribs to your thighs, fingertips to floor or blocks if you have them. Let your head be heavy. So knees are mega bent. Let your head hang. And then start to push your legs only as straight as feels sensible for you. Right, so you don't want to feel a whole lot of pulling right at the back of the knees or right at the sitting bones, right? You really want to feel it in the belly of the muscle. On your next breath in, walk your hands forward and come to a tabletop position, so hands and knees. And then taking the time to set your knees up about sitting bone distance apart, so a little bit closer together than you might normally. Hands outer shoulders distance apart. And then feel that same sense of length from your head to your tail, belly lifting away from the floor. And as you inhale, draw the collarbones broad, tip your sitting bones to the sky, open the whole front of your body. So this back bend is more about the upper back than the lower back. And then exhale, push the floor away, round like a Halloween cat. Now lift your pelvic floor in and up, lift your low belly in and up, push the floor away so you broaden your shoulder blades. Inhale again, broaden the collarbones. Press firmly through the inner edges of your hands and claw your fingertips into the floor as if you were palming a ball. Exhale, press into the floor. Pelvic floor lifts, scoop your tailbone under. Lift your bottom ribs to the sky. And then reconciling those two opposite actions, finding neutral. From here, extend your right leg straight back behind you. Your toes are curled under, your foot's to the floor. Now you're going to push your back foot into the floor. Lift your left knee up and pull it towards your nose. So your left knee is going to lift, round like cat back. And then lowering your left knee to the floor, your inhale is going to lift your right heel up. So you don't need to go for a whole lot of height. See how that's going to take it into the back. Find more of this long line of energy from head to heels. Exhale, tap the foot down, pull the knee forward, push the floor away. Slowly inhale, lower the knee. Firm the right glutes. Lift your leg, go for length more than height. One more time, just like that. So one of the ways that our body learns is through repetition. Inhale, lift your right leg up. So this next time that you lift your left knee and pull your knee forward, see if you can step it all the way through to lunge. And this is where your chair is going to come in handy. So go ahead and finagle your prop a little bit closer to you. And then shorten your stance, hop your back foot in a little bit closer, and then lift your back thigh bone up to the sky, lift your belly away from your left leg, and take your hands to your chair. From here, maintain that long line of energy from head to heel, pull the ribs up, push the hands down, and hover your left foot above the floor. Just hover, right? So this is a lot of core connection here. Now squeeze your left heel to your sitting bone. Use your whole inhale to step back into this plank pose at the chair. And then as you exhale, pull your knee to your navel, kick your left foot forward. Once you see that your ankle is over your knee, then place your foot down on the ground. We're going to do that a few more times. Exhale, squeeze your heel to your sitting bone. Use your whole inhale to step back to plank. So moving with your breath in this way, right? So we often think about using a chair in yoga to make things easier, but as we can feel here, it is absolutely possible to use the chair to make things more challenging. Right? Squeezing the heel to the sitting bone. This is also great in place of blocks. And we're going to do that one more time. Pull your knee to your navel. Lower the left foot down. And then lower your back knee slowly all the way down to your mat. And from there, place your hands down on the ground. Thread your left leg back. Here we are on the other side. So press your left foot into the floor. Exhale, pull your right knee towards your navel, push your hands into the floor, and dome your bottom ribs to the sky. Slowly inhale to lower your right knee down and lift your left leg up. Find length from head to heel. Try not to lose connection to your core. Exhale, press your left foot into the floor, pull your right knee forward, pull your belly up, push your hands down. So there are all these opposing lines of energy moving through you. Inhaling. One more time, just like that. Carve the knee through the midline of the body as if you're trying to get your knee to touch your nose. Lower the right knee down. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Collarbones are wide. And then on this next time, you're going to pull the knee forward so much, step your right foot through, come to lunge. Climb your hands up onto your prop, hop your back foot in a little bit closer, lift your left thigh up, lift your ribs up, push your hands down, hover your right foot. Squeeze your heel to your sitting bone. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Exhale, knee to navel. Kick your right foot forward and lower down. Take a breath. And then squeezing heel to sitting bone. Inhaling, stepping back. Exhale, knee to navel. Kick your right foot forward. See the ankle, the heel come underneath the knee and then lower it down. Pull your feet towards each other. One more time. Use your whole breath in to step back. Try not to be in a rush. Slow down inside. And exhale. Pull the knee forward. Kick your foot forward. Lower down. Slowly lower your back knee. Step your right knee back and coming all the way up onto your knees. Inhale, reach your arms overhead and then interlace your hands together and let them settle right on the very top of your head. Soften your shoulders down. Squeeze your buttocks and then pull your knees away from each other as if you're trying to rip your mat in half. So it should get you some connection to your side seat, hopefully. With the feedback of your hands on top of your head, this gives you something to lengthen up into. And notice how just the action of trying to get a little bit taller engages your core 360 degrees. Maintain all that length and space inside. Sweep your arms out to the sides and then interlace your hands together behind you. So if you're right-handed, I'll ask that you interlace your left thumb on top and vice versa. Press your palms together. So I'll turn this way so you can see a little better. Press your palms together, bend your elbows slightly apart, and then carve the bottom tips of the shoulder blades towards each other. As you start to reach your hands back, a few things happen, which is that the core disengages, so the ribs might pop forward or the head comes forward. So slide your throat back, slide your ribs back, slide your hands back. A couple more breaths here. It's a really nice thing to do after sitting and typing at your laptop for a long time. Next, inhale, reach the arms out, up and overhead. Exhale, hands to the floor, curl your toes under, and step back, downward facing dog. So a few breaths here, and it's perfectly all right to lift your heels a little bit, bend your knees a little bit. Float your armpits away from the floor as if they were balloons, and stretch from head to heels. Another big breath in. And then exhale, walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Bend your knees a lot. Inhale, sit low, reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. Twist to your right, and then tap your elbow either to the inside of your left knee, or if your feet are all the way together, you go to the outside of your right knee. Inhale, unwind. Come slightly out of your hot seat, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, sit low, hands to heart, this time twisting to your left. So establish the rotation first, so you're not just using leverage to get into the twist. Inhale, unwind, reach up. Exhale, sit back and twist. Inhale, unwind, reach up. Building a little bit more heat. Exhale, sit low and twist. We get one more time to each side. Inhale, initiating the twist from your core. Left side of the belly turns to the right as you twist. One more time, inhale. And exhale, twisting to your left. Inhale, unwind, reach up. Exhale, hit ribs to thighs, head is heavy. Straighten the legs only as much as feels sensible to you. Inhale to walk back out, downward facing dog, and then step your feet a little bit closer in so that you can bend your knees and then walk your hands up to your prop, to your chair, your coffee table, and whatever you have. Now feel the seesaw effect of pushing your hands down into the chair to balloon your armpits up. And then from here, as if you were trying to pull the chair back to your feet, so you should feel some tricep engagement there. Inhale, come through to plank. And then exhale, bend your elbows. A little push up here. Inhale, push back up to plank. And then exhale, angle back to this like chair dog. Inhale, pull the legs of the chair towards you. Find plank pose at the chair. Firm the glutes, lift your belly. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, push the arms straight. Squeeze your hands towards each other as you push the chair away. Exhale, as you angle back to dog, keep your thighs firm. Scoop your low belly away from the ground. Inhale, plank. Exhale, a little push-up. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, down dog at the chair. Thighs are firm, ground your heels. Inhale, plank. Pause here. Exhale, little bend to the elbows, and then start to lift your chest through. You can come to your tiptoes, so it's like a cobra or an upward facing dog at the chair. Pull your shoulders back. That same action of trying to tug the chair back towards your feet. One more breath here. Lift the front rim of your pelvis, roll over your toes, and come back to this downward facing dog-like position. So now please step your right foot in between the legs of the chair. Angle your back foot down. So I said right, I'm modeling on my left, so I can turn to face you first. And then find warrior two. So first, pull your feet towards each other and feel how that wakes up your inner thighs. And then push your feet apart and feel how that wakes up more of like your side seat and your glutes. So exhale, pull your feet together, pull your hands towards each other, and pull your navel to your spine. So it's not necessarily a tucking of the tailbone or a flattening of the back. You're just pulling everything in. And then as you inhale, push your feet apart, reach your arms apart. Your gaze can follow your front hand. Exhale, pull everything to the midline. Pelvic floor lifts, belly pulls in, getting taller. Inhale, reaching out, feeling these movements of energy. From inside, exhale, pulling in and up. You might even come slightly up out of your warrior two. And inhale, extend. And then just settle into the stillness and be here for 3 more breaths. If it causes you any neck tension to look over your hand, please take your head to neutral, no problem. Hugging the muscles to the bones. Spreading the collarbones as much as you're drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. And then go ahead and hinge at the hips and take your right hand to your seat, and then slowly push your front leg straight-ish, triangle pose. So if you want to do that a few times to kind of floss your hamstrings and your inner thighs, you can. I'd like for you to really feel that on both feet you have as much weight through the big toe ball mound as you do the outer heel. So getting that front leg as straight as feels sensible for you, I'd like for you to now push down into the chair to feel more firing through the side waist. And if you need to shorten your stance a little bit, heel toe your back foot in. And what we're going to play with is pushing down into the chair so much that you could actually hover your foot up off the floor. So that's a lot of engagement and tone through the side body. Feel the space above you, feel the space beyond your head lengthen. 2 more breaths. And then lower. You're just going to lift your back heel, kind of close that half of the body. Step back to your chair dog. Second side, step your left foot through, or whatever the other side is for you. Spin the back foot down, and then find your warrior two. So just leave the arms as they are for a moment, and then first squeeze your legs towards each other. Feel that firing there. And then push your feet apart and feel how that changes. Take a nice breath in, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, pull your legs towards each other, pull your hands towards each other, pull your navel to your spine. And then inhale, push your feet apart, reach your arms apart. And 2 more times, moving in this way with the breath. Feeling this dynamic tension of opposites. And these opposing forces help to create balance and stability in the body. And then settling into stillness, firming the arm muscles against the bones. Mindful of which direction your knee is pointing in, ideally looking about over the second toe. 1 more breath. And then hinging at the hips, you got to kind of slide back a little bit, take your hand to your seat, and then you can straighten your front leg and then do a little bend. And maybe 1 more time. And the next time you push your leg straight, stay there. And you'll be able to feel, your body will tell you if your feet are too wide apart, you might not get the clearance, right? So if you need to heel toe your back foot in a little bit, feel the connection of the arms across the chest and upper back, and then press down, that seesaw effect of toning the side waist, smashing the chair into the floor, the coffee table, and maybe hovering that leg up off the ground for 3. Breathing in. Breathe out 2. Try not to lose connection to that breath that you established at the beginning of practice. Exhale, lower down. And then just close that half of the body, make contact with the chair, and step back. That's it. Hands to the ground. Walk your feet back, come to plank pose here. Exhale, lower all the way down. So you can either scoot yourself away from your side table or whatever you're working with, or move your chair off to the side. I have a folding chair, which is very convenient, so I'll just put that there. Stack your hands one on top of the other, lower your forehead down and rest. Feel your heartbeat. And just allow yourself to settle into stillness for a moment. And then firm your legs, so click your toenails into the floor. Firm the glutes, and lift your low belly as if you were trying to lengthen your tailbone to the space between your feet. Sweep your arms by your sides. So you can interlace your hands together once again. If that doesn't feel like a reasonable thing for you to do with your shoulders, please just simply reach your arms back. You'll get a lot of benefit that way as well. Palms press, elbows are bent, shoulder blades hug. Press the back of your head, so not so much the top of your head, but the back of your head to the sky. Lift your hands, and then lift your legs. So experiment, try taking your feet all the way together. Squeeze them towards each other. So you're trying to zip lock your inner thighs together. If that causes compression in your lower back, please take your feet wide apart. A few more breaths here, and there's a little bit of a seesaw effect of inhaling to lift the upper body, exhaling to lift the lower body. Inhale, upper body lifts. Exhale, legs straight, squeeze them together, lift your legs. One more breath in, both ends out and up, 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 up. Exhale, let that go. Lower down and rest again. And then make your way onto your back. And bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor. Arms by your sides. And once again, your feet can be about hips distance apart. So press into your heels without flattening the curve of your back, right? So your frontal hip bones are like headlights on a car. They're pointing straight up. You want to keep them pointing straight up. Press into your feet. Squeeze right at the bottom of the glutes, the top of the thighs, to lift your hip bones straight up to the sky. And then as you exhale, draw your ribs back. So now you're scooping your tailbone through the space between your knees. Draw your belly back, lower down vertebrae by vertebrae. Just before your pelvis touches the floor, you're going to lift back up. And for me, it doesn't matter if you lift on an inhale or if you lift on an exhale. I'd just like for you to feel that you're moving with breath. So really try to slow your breathing down. Most of us overbreathe. Lips are closed, breathing calmly through the nose. Noticing where you feel this in your body. 2 more cycles with the breath. Rising up. Lowering, not quite all the way down, feeling connection to the core. And 1 more time, rising up. And this time you'll stay lifted. Bend your elbows a moment. Press your shoulders back so you carve the shoulder blades towards each other. And then grab the outer edges of your mat. Spin your arms from thumb to pinky or from bicep to tricep. Press your elbows into the floor and then literally tug your arms away from each other like you're trying to pull your mat apart. Relax the tongue, the jaw, the throat. If you feel the back of the neck flat on the floor, press your head back, lift your chin up off your chest a little bit more. 2 more breaths. Press your big toe ball mounds into the floor. Press your outer heels into the floor. And then release your arms and exhale to lower down. So you can stay lying the way that you're lying. I'm just going to turn my facing so that you can have this view. Yep. Please reach your arms straight up to the sky. And then plug the arm bones back into their sockets so you feel that the collarbones are wide here. And then slowly start to take your right arm out to the right side, really slow. So we're not going to bring it all the way down to the ground. And the further away that your arm comes from your body, you might notice that your core has to work a little bit to keep your torso really still and quiet. And then lift your right arm straight back up to the sky. And then slowly opening up your left arm. And again, I don't mind if you open the arm on a breath in or if you do it on the breath out. Just move mindfully with your breath. And then 1 more time, right arm opening. Feel the back of your pelvis on the floor. Even weight on the right side and the left side of the back of your pelvis. So there's no change in your rib cage or your pelvis. Feeling that the arms can move independently of the body. And just noticing what's different from one side to the other. Really trying not to label one side your good side or the other side your bad side. Just get curious. So now release your arms down by your sides. Palms can be down or up, whatever feels better for you. And then walk your feet a little bit further away from you and come to your heels. Okay, so maybe I'll show this angle so you can still see pretty clearly. So we're going to do the same thing but now with our legs, right? So trying not to let your pelvis turn at all. Open your right leg out to the side. And it doesn't have to be a lot. This is like, you're not going to get a yoga ticket if you can't get your leg to the floor. It's totally not the goal. Find the stability as you're moving your right leg. Coming back to center. And then the other thing to notice is as you move your left leg open to the left, does your right knee wander out to the right to try to compensate for that asymmetry? So I can feel here for myself how it's so much harder for me to do this on my left leg than it is on my right. Like my right leg feels pretty stable when I move it out to the side. My torso doesn't really move a whole lot. So using your core canister to stabilize your trunk as you rotate at the hip joint. Left leg pulling back to center, and then release your feet to the floor. Okay. Now, please walk your heels a little bit closer to your body. And keeping your thigh bones at this angle, I'd like for you to interlace your hands together behind your head, and you can point your elbows about halfway up to the sky. And as you exhale, draw your ribs down as if you're trying to pull your ribs down towards your pelvis and lift your breastbone up. So it's not forward so much as it is up a little bit. Press into your left heel and straighten your right leg. From there, just hover your left heel up off the floor, so you're loading your core a little bit more, and then lower your left heel down, lower your right heel down. Press through the right heel, try not to let your pelvis turn, just straighten your left leg. And you'll notice it's not a big hamstring stretch, you're keeping your thigh bones parallel, it's more about core stability. And then hover your right heel, makes it a lot harder, and then lower. And then lower your left heel to the floor. I'm just watching for time. Okay, we'll do one more each side. Now extend your right leg, hover your left heel, take your right hand to your left thigh, and pull your thigh against your hand and push your hand against your thigh. Try and maybe curl up a little bit higher. Try not to stop your breath. Keep calm in your face. And then lower your heel, hand behind your head, right foot to the floor. Curl up a little bit higher. Straighten your left leg, hover your right heel, take your left hand across your body to your right thigh, pull the leg against the hand, push the hand against the leg, and try and curl up higher. Head heavy against your right hand, stay calm in your face. 3, 2, 1, drop your right heel, hand behind your head, lower your left knee. Arms by your sides, relax. Take your feet wider than your mat. Let both knees fall slowly to the right. Once they fall all the way to the right, take a breath there. Lift your legs through center and let them fall both all the way over to the left. And once you've reached your end range, stay for a breath. And then coming back to center, heel toe your feet closer together. Draw your knees into your chest. And then extend your legs just as much as feels good for you. So if your knees are bent, you're still going to get a great opening through the backs of the legs. It's fine to keep your knees bent. Reach for wherever you easily can. Shoulders stay soft on your back, head stays heavy on the floor. Now if you're feeling any blood pressure stuff, like you just feel like you need to come up to sit, you can do something similar seated. It's the same pose, different relationship to gravity. Some of us are perfectly happy to stay down on the back. And then bend your knees, drop your feet. So it might be really nice to have a little bit of height and some padding for your head. So go ahead and take your blanket or beach towel or whatever you have underneath your head and make yourself as comfortable as possible. If having your legs flat on the floor doesn't feel great on your back, you can roll up another towel, like so, and just kind of shove it underneath your knees. So look, something like that. And you have something else underneath your head. So give yourself a moment to land, to arrive in the stillness. And then sense the outline of your body. As if I was drawing the shape of your body on the floor with a giant crayon. Just feel the outline of your body. And then feel the midline of your body. Your central axis from the top of your head, down through the front of your spine and out your tailbone. Feel the midline of your body. Allow the right arm to become heavier and really sink down into the ground. Allow the left arm to become heavier and sink even deeper down into the ground. Right leg heavy, even heavier. Left leg heavy, even heavier. Without changing it in any way, notice your breath. Notice where you feel your breath in your body. Notice the movement of your body with inhalation. Notice the movement of your body with exhalation. Feel your breath against your nostrils. Notice how it's a little bit cooler on your in-breath and a little warmer on your out-breath. And then begin to lengthen your breath. And make it very subtle. And by subtle, I mean if you were to hold your hand in front of your face, that you would barely feel your breath against your hand. So really slow down the beginning of your inhale. Really slow down the beginning of your exhale. And now as you breathe in, count silently to yourself up to 4. And as you exhale, count silently to yourself from 4 back down to 1, keeping with that very subtle, quiet breath through the nose. Now, we'll add a brief retention. If you're pregnant, please don't hold your breath. As you breathe in, just feel the top of your inhale and then hold your breath for a count of 4. Exhale from 4 back down to 1. And then at the bottom of your exhale, hold your breath also for a count of 4. So just exhaling to a comfortable level. You don't have to force every last bit of air out of your body. Breathing in a subtle, quiet way. This is called box breath. So it's very, very even. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. Enjoy this for maybe 2 or 3 more cycles of breath. Really trying to slow down inside. After your next exhale, let go of any controlled breath. Return to your natural, effortless breath. yourself to move more deeply into the stillness. Again, taking the time to let go of any judgments that you might have had about your body or your practice. Let go of attachment to outcome. Let go of the effort. Let go of anything outside of this moment. Just moving through a simple body scan. I'll name some different parts of the body. There's no need to move unless it's to become more comfortable. Simply bring your awareness to each part of your body as you hear it named. Right palm of the hand, back of the hand, right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, right side of the waist, right hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, right ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, whole right side, left palm of the hand, back of the hand, left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, left armpit, left side waist, left hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, left ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, whole left side, back of the head, shoulder blades, spine, buttocks, back of the thighs, back of the knees, calves, heels, whole back body, top of the head, forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, right temple, left temple, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, bridge of the nose, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, both lips together, chin, jaw, throat, collarbones, chest, upper abdomen, navel center, lower abdomen, hips, thighs, kneecaps, shins, tops of the feet, the whole front body, the whole body. Feel the whole body relaxed and supported by the floor. There's some sort of affirmation that you are working with. Please say that quietly to yourself now. If nothing arises, please just say quietly to yourself, may I be at ease. May I be at ease. Noticing if you hear any sounds from nearby. Noticing sounds from nearby, maybe sounds from your own body, coming from inside your body. And now notice any sounds from far away, as far and wide as your ears can hear. Notice sounds from far away. Return your awareness to the outline of your body, the shape of you, the space you take up, and the midline, and feel them together, your outline and your midline. Just before before you open your eyes, remember the color of the clothes that you're wearing, the space that you're in, and feel your breath move more deeply through your body. Spread your inhale across your arms into your hands and down your spine and legs into your toes. And a gentle sigh out through the nose or the mouth. Bend your elbows, rest your hands on your belly. And one at a time, bend your knees and rest your feet onto the floor. Just allow yourself a moment of gratitude for your practice, your effort that you put forth. Roll onto your side. Pause there a moment. Make your way up to sit. Any comfortable seated position, you can even sit in your chair if you'd like. And settle into stillness once again. And just notice the effects of your practice. The effects of your practice to your physical body, to your level of energy, to your thoughts, your feelings. And once again, in a gesture that connects you to your center, to your midline, to your heart space, bring your palms together. And as you bow to your heart, I bow to you. Thank you so much for practicing.